A son finally fulfilled his mission to learn the fate of his father, who never returned from the Korean War. Master Sergeant Charles McDaniel went overseas to fight nearly 70 years ago. And after human remains were recently returned to the U.S., McDaniel was one of 2 missing servicemen who was positively identified. Can you imagine? Well, David Martin spoke to his son in an interview you'll see only on CBS This Morning. David, good morning.
Good morning. After the Singapore summit with President Trump, North Korea's Kim Jong-un returned 55 boxes containing remains of Americans killed in the Korean War. That's a tiny fraction of the 5,300 still missing, and doesn't sound like much until you find out what it means to one family.
This faded photo is one of the few memories Charles McDaniel has of his father. He was just 3 years old when Master Sergeant Charles McDaniel went off to the Korean War and vanished without a trace.
He disappeared from history. I mean, he was just gone. He wasn't dead. He wasn't a POW that was listed. He was gone.
He was a medic in an Army battalion overwhelmed by Chinese troops at the Battle of Unsan in North Korea on November 2nd, 1950.
They lost 600 and some people in one night.
They were basically overrun.
The Chinese came in around them, surrounded them, and then just overran the battalion headquarters.
McDaniel's wife Gladys and their 2 sons never knew what happened to him. But when he didn't come home with prisoners of war, he was officially declared dead, a fact which slowly registered with Charles as he grew.
I remember all of a sudden, as a little boy, starting to cry. I was inconsolable.
He became an Army chaplain and searched military archives for his father's service records, but found no clues to his fate. Then North Korea turned over 55 boxes of remains following the Singapore summit.
55 boxes come back, that's 1% of the missing in action. So I'm figuring, at best, there's a 1% chance that my father's remains are there.
But then, as he revealed at a ceremony in Hawaii honoring the missing, he got a call from an Army official.
He said, well, I have some amazing news for you. We found 1 dog tag. 1 dog tag. And it's your father's.
Eaten away by rust, but still legible.
It has my father's name on it, his blood type.
You don't know what happened to your father exactly, but he could have been wearing that when he died.
And probably was. Probably was.
With the dog tag in hand, it didn't take long for the forensics lab in Hawaii to identify McDaniel's remains.
So they've done DNA analysis, they've done dental analysis. Yes. So it all adds up. Here's the opinion. Establish the remains as those of Master Sergeant Charles Hobart McDaniel.
Right.
So that's what...
That's the definitive word that they got there. Yep.
Yeah.
While they were in Hawaii, Charles and his younger brother Larry asked for a moment alone with their father's remains.
I just put my hand on my father's skull, head, and said a little thank you prayer to God that even to have this, it's more than I ever expected, honestly.
I wouldn't ever use the word lucky with your situation, but...
Blessed is the word I would use. Okay. But fortunate, God's grace has somehow allowed this to happen.
Master Sergeant McDaniel disappeared from history 68 years ago, but now he's found. His remains will be returned to his family in Indiana this week for burial with full military honors. Deanna?
May he rest in peace, and our thanks to that entire family for their service and dedication. That 1% chance really paid off. David, thank you.